Yo, what's up students? Apple just released a larger 15-inch MacBook Air, and I believe this is probably a better option for you, and we're gonna talk about that in this video. And I'm gonna be doing a giveaway. All I have to do is to enter in, is to like this video, comment below, and let me know why you like this laptop, and I'll be giving away an Amazon gift card or some accessories for your brand new MacBook Air. Let's get into it. Just like everyone else, my biggest concern is that this is gonna weigh a lot more, and it's still called the Air, and when you look at it, it does look pretty weighty, but when you hold it, it's actually pretty light. It weighs 3.3 pounds in comparison to the 13-inch, which is 2.75 pounds. Since the weight is distributed on a bigger body, it doesn't feel like a huge difference. Let's talk about a big con now, because not everything with this laptop is great. Now, if you get the base model version, the SSD speeds are slightly slower, actually not even slightly, they're damn near half the speed, which is a little disappointing because if you're a CS major or a film student who needs something really fast, it can be a little bit of a bottleneck. So I'd recommend that you go for the 512 gigabyte version, which does unfortunately cost $200 more, but it is well worth the speeds that you're gonna get. Aside from that price tag, the obvious difference between the 13-inch and the 15-inch is the fact that you have 27% larger screen real estate. On top of that, there is a bigger battery on here, trackpad is slightly larger, and the speaker system on here is much better. So the keyboard on this MacBook is pretty much the same size as the 13-inch.
What? Is that 15 inches?
Yeah, it is.
Nice.
The only thing bigger is the trackpad. You still have 2 USB-C ports, so you're gonna need some adapters. But one thing I could say is I appreciate the fact that Apple does discounts if you're a student, so you can get this at a cheaper price tag in retail. This midnight colorway looks great, but it honestly is hard to keep clean, and it's a huge dust and fingerprint magnet, so keep that in mind. As far as performance, this particular model is a base model 256 gig SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and Apple M2. I did a little bit of video editing on here with Sony 4K footage. It did pretty well, didn't have any issues there. However, when I switched over to Adobe Premiere, that's when things got a little bit laggy. So hopefully Apple makes it a little bit more efficient for Adobe Premiere, because I know a ton of film students use that predominantly. So we'll see how that goes. If you're a CS major or if you do a lot of coding with your device or your laptop, then this shouldn't be an issue at all. It should handle pretty well on here. If you do a ton of multitasking now, I'd suggest go with 16 gigs of RAM, because the more applications you have open, especially if they're very CPU intensive or just graphic intensive applications, then I'd highly suggest going with that, because it does start to kind of slow down a little bit. Now, I haven't had a huge issue with this throttling, but it definitely does. So definitely expect that if you're doing a lot of tasks, or if you're in a hot environment, maybe you're working outside or something like that, you are gonna notice this start to slow down. The 15-inch MacBook Air is for that student or professional who's already in Apple's ecosystem and needs a bit more screen real estate to maximize efficiency. I still wish this had more than 2 USB-C ports, considering that this is a much larger body than the 13-inch. Because of the slightly better performance edge than the 13-inch and a bigger display, this could surely turn this MacBook 15-inch into the next big thing among students and professionals. My name is Victor Kamanga. Be sure to enter into the giveaway by liking this video and commenting. Thank you for watching. Bye.